Day, May the 1st. We'll call this meeting to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation by Councilman Byrd.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Have a motion to approve the minutes? A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. So ordered. Thank you. We have no special presentations this evening, which jumps us right into our agenda. Madam Clerk, 5A, please.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance, Article 16, downtown Chattanooga form-based code relative to recommended improvements based on a one-year review.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Henderson, followed by Councilman Mitchell. But let me first ask if there's any, is there any opposition to this item? Very good. All right. Councilman Henderson, followed by Councilman Mitchell.
Mr. Chair, move approval of the alternate version sponsored by Councilman Henderson and Mitchell.
I thought you might.
Second.
Mitchell. All right. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. So ordered. Thank you, gentlemen. That takes us to ordinances first reading. 6A, please, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 906 and 912 East 14th Street, more particularly described herein from R3 residential zone to RTZ residential townhouse 0 lot line zone, subject to certain conditions.
Is the applicant here? Is there any opposition here? Very good. Looks like Councilman Byrd, followed by Councilwoman Coonrod.
Sir, move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. So ordered. Madam Clerk, B, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located at 1135 McNichol Lane, tax map number 15908A026.01, as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
What's pleasure?
Oh, move approval.
Second.
Everybody awake?
All right. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. So ordered. Thank you. On to resolutions. Madam Clerk, 7A, please.
A resolution declaring surplus of property located at 3300 Brandon Avenue, identified as tax map number 156PE016.
It's pleasure.
Move to approve.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. So ordered. Thank you. B, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a donation agreement with First Lutheran Church, a registered nonprofit, in substantially the form attached, and to execute any related documents between the city of Chattanooga and First Lutheran Church for the conveyance of property located at 3300 Brandon Avenue, identified as tax map number 156PE016, with the property to be utilized for the benefit of the Clifton Hills community.
Move to approve, Mr. Chair.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. C, please.
A resolution to confirm the mayor's reappointments of Jason Farmer and Velma Wilson to the Regional Planning Commission.
Councilwoman Burrs, followed by Councilman Ledford.
I'll second.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. So ordered. D, please.
A resolution authorizing the award of contract number Y170172201 to JDH Company, Inc. of Chattanooga, Tennessee, replacement roofing system for Carver YFD Center Building in the amount of $192,844, with a contingency amount of $20,000 for an amount not to exceed $212,844.
Councilman Byrd, followed by Councilwoman Coonrod. All right. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. So ordered. E, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into a joint funding agreement, JFA, with the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, and the City of Chattanooga to operate 3 continuous real-time stream gauges located on North Chickamauga Creek, South Chickamauga Creek, and Chattanooga Creek for the period beginning April 1, 2018 through March 31st, 2019, at a total cost of $44,200 with a contribution of $10,875 from the USGS and $33,325 from the City of Chattanooga.
Councilman Mitchell, followed by Councilwoman Coonrod.
Move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. F, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to renew contract number S16011 with 1 ASA Engineering and Consulting, Inc., 2 Barge Design Solutions, 3 Craig Design Group, 4 Stantec, and 5 WM Whitaker and Associates for 1-year blanket contracts with 5 professional firms, On-Call Landscape Architect Design Services for year 2 of 2, estimated at $500,000 total annually for all 5 professional firms for use by all departments.
Councilman Mitchell.
Move approval.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. G, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a proposal with the Tennessee Department of Transportation, TDOT, for state project number 33002-216944, federal project number NHI 24390, PIN number 112833.00, interchanges at SR2 Broad Street and SR58 Market Street in Chattanooga Route I-24.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. H, please, Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the Chattanooga Department of Transportation to erect commemorative secondary street name signs on Oak Street and Shallowford Road from Glenwood Drive to Ridgeside Road, designating said portions of Oak Street and Shallowford Road as Glen D. Key Way.
Councilwoman Coonrod, followed by Councilman Byrd. All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. So ordered. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Clerk. That takes us to purchases. Ms. Woodard?
Good evening.
Good evening.
First, for reporting purposes tonight, we have one emergency purchase on behalf of the Economic and Community Development Department. It was for the purchase of an emergency homeless shelter awarded to the Salvation Army in the amount of $49,500. This was for the emergency purchase to provide temporary housing for homeless persons who are residing on city-contaminated land.
Thank you, Ms. Woodard. Ms. Williams, you good?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
And secondly, for your consideration tonight, we have 2 purchases on behalf of Public Works. The first being a new blanket contract for garbage and recycle containers citywide to be awarded to Waste Quip LLC in an estimated annual amount of $400,000. And finally, we have a new blanket contract for fire alarm and monitoring and wet sprinkler system service citywide to be awarded to Johnson Controls Fire Protection LP in an estimated annual amount of $50,000.
See a light by Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to thank Public Works for giving us an overview on the recycling containers, the amount that we use, the breakdown, how we recycle them, and a better explanation of why we use so many of them. And with that, I'd like to move for approval if no other comments.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Approval of purchases. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you, Ms. Woodard.
Thank you.
That takes us to other business. We do have a city attorney report, but before that, are there any council members who have other business they'd like to discuss? Councilman Gilbert.
Yes, Chair. So I'm a little late. We had a function a few minutes ago. Last Saturday, we had at Sturkis Forum, we had a celebration out there trying to show people what the potential is going to be at Sturkis Forum, like 20 acres. The first phase, we're going to start, I think, in the next 2 weeks on the pavilion and bathrooms. Definitely bathrooms #1 for me. But we had a nice time. There was a lot of good vendors out there. People enjoyed it. People biked, they canoed. So we had a good time. Also, after this meeting, if you have anything to do, we have Mental Health Awareness Month, Embracing Hope for Mental Health. It's at the Camp House currently, and it lasts about 8 o'clock. So if you got time, go by there and learn more about mental health. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. I've got 2 board appointments.
Awesome. One of them requiring a vote and one not, I believe. Is that correct? Which ones?
Passenger vehicle for hire and the YFD.
Okay, let's do the passenger vehicle for hire first.
Bernard Owens for the passenger.
Okay.
I would like to appoint him to the board.
Move to nominate, okay. I have a motion to nominate.
Second. Second.
You can grant it over there. Can you, did you get the name, Wade? Yeah, okay.
Bernard.
Okay. Have a motion and a second for appointment to the passenger vehicle for hire board. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. And your second appointment?
YFD, I'd like to nominate Vivian Freeman White for the YFD board.
That's just an appointment.
Okay.
Got it.
But then I got something else to say.
Thank you, ma'am.
So this month also is an awareness month for lupus, and an estimated 5 million people live with lupus worldwide. There's no cure for lupus at this time. So for this, I lost my daughter. She had lupus as well, and back in January. So anytime that you have purple on, because that's the awareness color for lupus, share it on social media. We're trying to raise awareness about lupus, and it's a disease that's it's not often talked about, and it's often just it goes unnoticed, and a lot of African American women are affected by lupus. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Oglesby.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to have an appointment, Juanita Lotman Clay, to represent District 7 on the YFD board.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
And then I have another announcement. Last Friday, Erlanger had its grand opening of the Southside Community Health Center, and it is now located in the Food City complex off Tennessee Avenue. It was a very, very nice event, and we're excited, not only in District 7, but across our city, to have a facility that provides quality health care to those citizens who may have challenges getting health care during these times. At that time, a plaque of Representative Joanne Favors was placed in the lobby as you come in there. So it was a lot of fun, it was a lot of excitement, but most of all, we got a quality healthcare center in our city that can deliver those services to those individuals who can't afford it and who need it the most during these challenging times. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to remind everybody that the polls are open until 8 o'clock, so please go vote if you have not. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Oh, Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. So we have in the audience Miss Key and her family. We just voted to name the street after her daughter, Glenn D. Key. So if you all have anything to say, I would like to say.
I've heard.
Good afternoon. Charles and I would like to thank the Mayor Burt and his staff and his transportation team for understanding and giving me the good directions, and they were very kind. And I am appreciative for Councilor Coonrod. She knows that we do need this program, and I am not begging you all for any money. I'm doing this on my own and my son, and I am sure Daddy Key, that you all don't know, who did a lot of things for Chattanooga, that he is proud of Glenn Key because he told her to make sure when she goes off to school to remember Chattanooga. In her traveling, you would thought she was hired by the city of Chattanooga. She was always telling how great Chattanooga was. So we have a lot of things that she has done for Chattanooga. People do not know about it. What has she done for Chattanooga? She received the Jefferson Scholar. The first thing she did, she received that Jefferson Scholar in the 12th grade. Only Macaulay and GPS could receive this scholarship. She decided that would be the first thing. Now, remember her grandfather told her to take care of Chattanooga. She didn't only take care of Chattanooga, she took care of the whole United States. Any student finish college, high school now, they are eligible for the Jefferson Scholar. Glenn was working out of President Clinton's office. She was a special assistant and council secretary of the Interior Babbitt and left the negotiation of $700 million Everglades environmental settlement under President Clinton. After talking with Mayor Gene Roberts, her grandfather talked with Glenn to get Bruce Babbitt, the United States Interior Decorator, Secretary of Chattanooga. Babbitt stated that he did not even know how he got to Chattanooga, but he did a lot of things during that time for Chattanooga. Glenn would send money to the needy kids at GPS. What did she do in Washington, D.C.? Active in the community, Glenn served on the government council of the Miller Center for Public Policy, a think tank developed to the study of National Government Institute policies and programs. She has published many articles. Monticello, Glenn John Mellor, John Thomas and Jefferson Foundation Board trustee, January the 1st, 2013. The first time I ever in my life saw my daughter upset. They shut her down. She was in Paris working on a case. It was Christmas time. She wasn't used to things like that. If she had a job to do, she would do it. She came home, she worked on it, worked on it, worked on it. She went back to Paris in October 2014. She won that case in 2 years. Glenn was a special child. She was a God child. All of my family was God children. We would go by the rules. I forgot I'm supposed to talk about Glenn. Okay. Glenn told the class of 82, I came, I saw, I conquered, and thought I was just teasing. In her chapel talk, Glenn cited the lyrics from the movie Fame and told them they hadn't seen anything yet. Glenn's greatest competition was her brother. The only thing she could not do was to beat him as an altar boy. But they finally, girls started doing it. Now, the reason I decided I would do this project was Glenn asked me, let's do a project. Let me do a project with you. And so I said, okay. So I started working on the project with education, I was working on this project, education at Signal Mountain. So I asked that man, would he let the inner city students, and nobody knows what we be doing the Keys, would they let the inner city students come? And so he said, yes, but you know you have to get a little money. So he said, give me some schools, and you have to be with me, and then I have to get it approved. He got it approved, and the last conference we had with the school was Brainerd High School. He said, I have good news. I know y'all ready to go, but I'm not. We have good news and bad news. He was leaving Chattanooga, going to a better job. I'm not going to read the mission statement, but I'm going to tell you some things that you should know about Miss V. Johnston, the head of senior president in '82, stated, actually, she is a self-starter, an achiever. She demand what she wants. She took courses her senior year, AP English, AP History, Calculus, Physical, Computer, her senior year. As the only black girl on any otherwise all-white team, it is gratifying to watch her merit the respect of all black players and a fan of the opposite basketball team. Every era of her life transcends the motion of race. She was proud, she is black, and demand that one produce pleasure relationship at GPS school. She was truly a bridge between two races. Now, February 8, 2019, this is when we would have this program. We would go into the schools, the upper and the middle school, the private school, the inner city would go to the private school. And that's what I'm working on now, trying to get permission from the principals or the headmaster. So this project is going to work. You know why? This was a project came because of God called and told me, because I was supposed to be working with on the Mountain Kids, but I didn't. If Glenn can do this, all girls and boys in Chattanooga can do it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry I took up a lot of time, but some things you would never know if I hadn't told you.
Thank you for your approval.
Do you have anything further, Councilwoman? Thank you. Mr. Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're going to actually ask to defer this until next week, this report.
Okay.
But I could go ahead and move forward with the approval of these renewals, if that's okay.
Please.
We, as you all can recall, the legislature passed a law to allow grocery stores to sell wine a couple of years ago. And part of the requirements, though, is after they receive approval, they have to get those approvals renewed every 2 years. This is the first batch of those renewals that I'm going to pass out for signature. No vote is needed. But for the record, I'm just going to read, Nicole, the ones that we'll be passing out. There's a Sam's Club at 6101 Lee Highway, a Walmart at 3550 Cummings Highway, Walmart at 501 Signal Mountain Road. I think Councilman Henderson really wants those there.
Yes.
Walmart,
Those good.
3901 Hickson Pike, Walmart 55764 Highway 153, a Walmart at 2020 Gun Barrel Road, a Walmart at 8101 East Brainerd Road, a Walmart at 4110 Shallowford Road, and a Walmart at 490 Greenway View Drive. I'm going to take these down to Councilman Burrs. If you could sign it and pass it, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is that everything for you? Okay. All right, that takes us to committee reports. I'm going to start on this other side. Councilman Mitchell. He didn't have a committee.
Oh,
I know
saving some
his
time,
report.
thank you.
We did have a Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting today, and we will have another one the 15th of May.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Council Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Planning and Zoning did meet today where we covered all 20 items. Thank you.
Councilman Henderson.
Mr. Chair, public safety didn't have a committee meeting.
I'm glad. Thank you. Councilman Gilbert. Thank you. Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. We did have an Economic and Community Development Committee meeting today, and it was over short-term vacation rental applications with opposition. And if I'm not mistaken, we will be voting on those May 8th.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. We're going to back up.
I got a question about that.
Councilman Henderson.
Mr. Chairman, will, when we hear these cases, will that be public hearing? It will be, won't it?
Or would
Before we
that be?
vote?
Yes, it will, sir. It will be public hearing, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Councilwoman Burrs. Thank you, ma'am. All right, that takes us to the point in our agenda where we recognize persons wishing to address the council on non-agenda items. Is there anybody here this evening that would like to address the council? We do have a couple. Mr. Attorney, would you read the rules, please?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Anyone interested in addressing the council will only be recognized here at the microphone. You have 5 minutes unless the council provides for additional time. Can't use any obscene or vulgar language. You can't personally attack or denigrate others. You can only address the council on items that are within its jurisdiction, and the chair is prohibited from recognizing persons more than twice in a 30-day period. There's no one on that list, sir. So,
Thank you, sir.
please.
Please, whoever would like to come up.
Hello, my name is Randall Lee Jones Sr. I'm residing at 2808 Dodson Avenue, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm trying to find out which city councilman is that.
Say your address one more time.
2808 Dodson Avenue.
Dodson.
Dodson, that would be
Bird,
me,
that's
sir.
you.
Okay. Well, I'm having a problem in the community and the whole city and the state. I have some entertainers in town in Chattanooga, Tennessee, committing crimes. They top millionaire entertainers. They run with Ursula Raymond, and he's from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he ran to me for help. And these other entertainers causing trouble in Chattanooga, Tennessee, because of me and him. And I'm trying to see. I done called the local police, FBI, CIA, Secret Service, Federal Trade Commission, Federal Communication Commission, on up to the president on this matter. They run around Chattanooga doing things they're not supposed to do. I've been investigating myself. I've been putting in police reports, and them agencies that I mentioned, they supposed to got back to me because I asked for an investigation. So these guys, they think they so much of a entertainer, they say supposed to be. They think they can just, get out of trouble, do things and get out of trouble. I don't think so. So I'm trying to get help. I can't get no attorney right now on the crimes that they've been doing around in Chattanooga, and it's very serious crimes. I'm gonna try to come in once this month, every Tuesday, to speak a little bit about it, because it's a big list. Can't do it all in 5 minutes. So I just wanted to mention it, and I'm the victim, and Ursula Raymond said he the victim. He got in some trouble with them in California, and it's a bunch of them around in Chattanooga right now here. So they hate people. They doing things hateful, and they done broke into the criminal intelligence security system with the government, and from what they be talking out here on the streets where I be, they fighting against the government. So every time I done called the Department of Defense. I'm a Navy veteran too, and reported some things, and I would just like to turn in a list that I wrote down today, and see can I get a copy back, and just start out from there. Okay. See, we have a one-on-one talk or something, and then see how can we help the city and community. 'Cause a lot of people around here scared of this, what they doing.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'll get that list from you.
Yes.
And we'll, after the council meeting, we'll see what we can do about getting a copy of that so you can have a copy for yourself as well, okay?
Thank you very
And we'll
much.
talk about it.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, Rick Carpenter. I'd like to visit Resolution 27969. And I really don't want to visit that resolution so much as the presentation on the city website. This is the resolution regarding what we can speak on in non-agenda matters in these meetings. And the presentation on the website is an edited presentation of the resolution itself. And I've got a printout of it right here. And there's two precursors to the edited version that you've presented on the website. This to me is kind of like amending the resolution. It's adding in and deleting information from the resolution as it exists. And what I'd like to hope to have council maybe look at this resolution or look at this page on your website where it addresses how you may address the city council, and just look at what's happening on this presentation that you're making preceding the resolution. There's a link on the page that you can click on, and it does take you to the resolution, and the resolution clearly speaks to how the meeting is to unfold. There is nothing that pertains to only speaking on non-agenda items during this segment of the discourse or of the meeting. It does say this is something, if you have something to say that's not related to the agenda, this is a welcome time to say it. But it doesn't preclude speaking on agenda items. So I'd like, hopefully, that you revisit the resolution by the link, and then also see how it's being presented on the website in its edited version, and then with the amendments preceding the presentation. And I'm not quite certain if you're trying to pass policy by printing this out preceding the resolution, because the resolution is the policy. And then when you're making this presentation of this edited version on the web page, I don't think that's exactly how we need to do that. We need to, if we want to change it so that you can only speak on non-agenda items here and not address agenda items during the meetings, then we need to bring that before the council for a vote. And the public needs to be involved in that as well. Because how we proceed during these meetings sets up how we're going to interact within our community. And there needs to be a fair shake across the board. And by putting these precursors to the edited version of the resolution on your website, that doesn't quite hold up as something that we've all agreed on. And the other thing I just wanted to find out is if we have an update. There was a fish kill some time ago. It wasn't that long ago. It was maybe a couple months ago. And, of course, it was all blamed on the weather. And at that point in time, I know testing was being done on the water to find out if it was the weather, because, that was all based on hearsay and observation because it had been cold, so the fish are dead. But there was testing done, and I was wondering if we have gotten those results back from the water that was tested in that site where the fish were killed, and if so, what were the results of those tests? I don't know if there's been any update to you, or maybe Justin Holland, if he's here, he could speak on that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll find out for him, Dan. Okay, thank you, sir. Is there anybody else who would like to address the council this evening? If not, I will entertain a motion. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Donna, do you want this or you want to get the body?